to stay healthy. That it is absolutely part of a great program. It was part of the entire dream of the ancients back as far as Solon, who was educated in Egypt, that the day was going to come when mankind would restore the world into the beauty that it was, the dignity that it was, and the magnificent opportunity that it affords for the growth and happiness of all the creatures that inhabits it. That's all that has to come. And that's what maybe Santa Claus is bringing a little of that news in that old sack of his, giving us a little more courage. If this Christmas reminds us that there is a God, if this Christmas reminds us that there have been beautiful and wonderful servants of God, that there have been great teachers in this world to whom we owe a great deal, there have been very many, many faithful little people who have worked and suffered and struggled and given the full measure of devotion to the smaller lives which they have lived. They are just as much heroes as the greatest names in history. Wherever anyone is right, there is a star in the earth as it's like a star in heaven. So we must all try to gain something of this in order to open the new century when it comes. Not as a century in which some great mystery occurs and the heavens open and the celestial choirs appear, but a simple work in which people with reasonable talents take over the development and protection of their environment. It is up to each person to protect the rights of all others, to protect his own. And until this is generally recognized, exploitation will continue without interruption, and there will be no real security anywhere in the world. So that Santa Claus, maybe this year, brings a message which is like the message of old St. Nicholas of Myra, the message of secret help, the secret giving, that in one way or another we are going to be a little better, and we're not going to claim any credit for it, and we're not going to say to someone, look how good I am, or parade our virtues, but by quietly doing what is necessary, we will save our world. We must save it one by one, and we will have to all work together. And as soon as the momentum starts, we're going to discover that the correction of our ills is not nearly as difficult as we thought it was going to be. It is much more difficult to do wrong than it is to do right, but we don't realize that. So then the Christmas time this year, the little man in the red suit can be a symbol of our own conscience. It can be something of our own love and in our hearts, perhaps a blazing symbol of a divine power in ourselves. Santa Claus in our own hearts becomes the bestower of all good to all whom we know and all whom we will meet and understand and contact in the course of the year. So we hope that you'll all think about these things and remember how important this really is to the future of humanity. Also, I want to thank all of you who have been so kind and generous and have sent me some wonderful cards and gifts and things of that nature. We will acknowledge as many as we can, but we're rather short-handed, and therefore let me thank you all here for what you have done and for your patience through this rather difficult health period, for which I'm not especially proud, but there it is. But anyway, we'd like you to know that we appreciate everything that you do to help to carry on this work, which is I am now carrying on into 68 years of active public work. So we thank you for that. I'd like to also call your attention that we have taken over the publication and distribution of two of my wife's books. One is a story of her adventures in connection with Bruton Vault, and the other is the riddle of the Shakespeare Sphinx. These are now available in full printed form, and the first book is about 600 pages, so you really find out what happened in Williamsburg. And the second one is very interesting because it calls upon a great many sources of knowledge concerning the early foundation of this country from books not generally noted or referred to, which I might happily say some of which are in our own collection. So we hope you will visit the book table and see these, and we thank you all for being with us, and we wish you a blessing for the coming year, and we hope that you will all be with us, and we will be with you for several years yet to come. Thank you very much.